If the Yankees lose Juan Soto to the Mets, how can any Yankees fan trust Hal again?
Oh
I like this
boy,
question.
you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that this is a question that represents the feeling of 80% of Yankees fans.
Yes.
They're going to be so angry.
You know this is a hot button for me though.
Well,
I
you
mean,
understand why a Yankee fan would be upset
if they
losing
didn't,
Juan Soto to the Mets specifically.
mm, I I I guess I don't have this
You may not
thing where there's
you may
another
not
team
understand that
in my
dynamic.
city.
Yeah, you may not understand that
Yeah,
dynamic.
I don't, not at all.
The Mets are like the little brother, right?
Right, right.
So losing Soto to the little brother outbidding the Yankees for Soto, the big star, Yankee fans will be very upset. Like, oh, Cohen's the new like sheriff in town.
Philly pride insists that's all. Andrew Rappin and Wild Bulls. Together they talk sports and dreams. Right behind the scenes. It seems. Philly versus NY. Who the call? Who's the greatest? Who will fall with this rivalry? Loud and clear. Join the chat. It's time to cheer. Sports and culture all in one. Catch the fire, feel the fun. Andrew Sistad, Brad unite. Philly NY in the spotlight.
Welcome to episode 17. We're going to talk Eagles 10-2, 8th straight win. We're also on the other side of that. We're going to talk about the underachievers in New York and Philadelphia sports. We're going to do some random trivia to see how well you know the Philadelphia Eagles. And we'll wrap up with subscriber questions. All right, so getting right into it, let's start with the underachievers in New York and Philly. And right off the bat, let me say this. If you're listening to this and you hear underachievers in New York and Philly right now, the first thought in your mind probably is the New York Jets. They are the biggest underachiever in probably all of sports right now. We're not going to talk about them just because we've touched on them, focused on them so much. They're not worth our time. And they're not worth your time as a listener to think about them.
Damn.
So we're going to
Coming
start
in
with
hot.
the Philadelphia 76ers because 4-14 for a team that came into the season with championship aspirations, 4-14, second to last in the East, coming off a big win against the Pistons, which the Pistons probably thought was a very winnable game, by the way.
Of course.
Somehow, by the way, before we get into this, though, how bad they've been, somehow, and this is, I want to get a measure of the panic in Philadelphia, but for you personally, dude, but somehow they're only 3 out of the play-in, which is the top 10. Not that that's the goal for a team that had championship aspirations, but 3 out of a play-in tournament is like, season's obviously not over just based on that. No Embiid for a while now. I believe there's no timetable. He's played 4 of the 17 games. Paul George played against the Pistons. Not well. He's only played 9 of 17 games.
I think
he's
it's
been
19.
terrible in those games.
I think it's 19 games, man.
Aren't they 4-14?
Let me check. They're
Four,
okay. So yes, I think that was including tomorrow night's game because he was ruled out for tomorrow night's game too, Embiid. So, but
so
yes,
Embiid 4 out of 19 games, and George will probably play, so he'll probably be 10 out of 19 games.
Well, he got injured too. He left the game. The game was pretty much in hand at that point. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a complete and utter disaster. I mean,
it gets worse and worse.
It just gets worse and worse. And honestly, they are like, you started off saying that the Jets are not worth everybody's time. Like, I feel like they are the New York Jets of the NBA.
But at least they've had years of success, leading up to this. But the Jets are just Sixers. Stay in the focus on the Sixers.
Right, that's fair. Again, the playoffs obviously a lot easier to make in the NBA. Yeah, just again, I remember thinking back a couple months back, and I was saying that this was by far the most excited for a basketball season I'd ever been in my entire life, and that was not exaggerating. That was not hyperbole. Like
That was
that
your mistake.
was, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep. I should have stuck with my my negative roots. Maybe they'd be in a better spot. But no, I mean they're just so bad, and like everything except for Jared McCain is just not good.
Can we talk about that
Obviously,
for a second?
sure.
Dude, I know you're like locked into how their team's playing. I don't know if you've noticed the stats though. These won't surprise you. They won't surprise you. 28th in offensive rating,
Hmm.
16th in defensive rating, overall rating 26th, 26th in SRS. I'm assuming you don't know what SRS is.
I don't.
SRS is symbol rating system, which accounts for point differential and strength of schedule.
Okay.
So they're really bad in all these stats. True shooting percentage, which
Excellent
accounts
analysis.
for true shooting percentage, which accounts for all shooting, free throw shooting, 3-point shooting, 2-point shooting.
Mm-hmm.
27th. Effective shooting percentage, which is the same thing as true shooting percentage, except that there's a multiplier for 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
28th in the NBA. These are all out of 30 teams.
Thank you.
Offensive rebound percentage, they're 18th. The other teams that are at the bottom of effective shooting percentage, the Trailblazers and the Rockets, for example, are top 3 in offensive rebound percentage. So you miss a lot of shots, you're going to, as a team, attack
more
the
opportunities,
boards
right.
more.
Mm-hmm.
But the Sixers don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
things are going great.
does any of that surprise you?
Yeah, I mean they are completely that you can't, they don't look like an NBA team. Like they're like just they're too small. They can't shoot. They can't defend. Like everything you're saying is not surprising in the least. And look, that's what happens when you have all of your money tied up into 3 guys, and all of them have missed significant time this year. So obviously the Embiid thing is a total disaster. Who the hell knows? Like if he's like, who knows if his career? I'm sure he will play again in the NBA, but it doesn't really feel like he's ever going to be back to MVP level Embiid. The Paul George stuff,
I know.
yeah, the Paul George stuff. I mean, he's certainly shown flashes here and there, but he has
He's been
certainly
bad.
not lived up to the hype.
He's
Maxey's
been
been
really
in and out
bad.
of the lineup. Yeah, dude, they've all been really bad. The role players have been very bad.
Dude, Paul George's stats, dude. I know he has been hurt and he hasn't played that much, but I looked at his stats to double check, like, oh, how bad has he been when he's played? I didn't even realize this. 14 points per game on 38% shooting, 28% from 3.
Unbelievable.
Like, dude, like when he's not okay, he just, he's always injured, but he's always performed when he's played.
Yeah, it's just total. It's the year from hell, and everything that can go wrong is going wrong.
Except Jared McCain.
Jared McCain's great. Maxey's played pretty well. Again, he's been in and out of the lineup too. They're just, they don't have anything. They don't have size. They don't really have shooting. They don't have the things that you need in a modern NBA basketball team.
Yeah.
And it shows, and you just, you have to wonder if that's it. Like, it's just never going to get better. The Embiid's knee is not going to get better. Paul George is not going to get any younger. The rest of their roster is still going to be thin because, again, all their salary is tied up in these 3 guys. The role players haven't done particularly well, but they're also being asked to do things that they're not necessarily great at because the 3 stars have been in and out of the lineup. So just a total disaster. As far as like the play in, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can make the play in and then your consolation prizes playing the Celtics round 1. So that's super cool. You'll
not necessarily.
Get your ass
not
kicked.
Necessarily.
Right, but you know,
you can be the play-in and get the 7th seed, and then consolation be playing the Cavs or the Knicks, whoever gets the 2 seed.
Right. So Yeah, I mean the
Magic.
goal was to be the 3 seed going into the year. Since the whole Embiid thing started, like my whole goal was, all right, let's just at least avoid the play-in. And it doesn't even look like they have like any chance at doing that. They're already like, I don't know, I think it was like 6.5 games back of that 6 seed right now. There's so many teams that are jumbled up in there. It's like it's gonna be really hard. Even if they had all their guys and they were playing well and clicking, it would have been a tough hill to climb. But now it's just, I mean, yeah, they're so far
Yeah, it's
gone.
not. It's not
It's
like
almost
there's
not
like
even worth like trying to go for it this year. You know, it's really, it's I don't know. I'm not a tank and get a draft pick guy, but it's like, what's the point? You're already so far down. Obviously the knee is not right. Why not just take the year at this point, right? Nobody cares. The fan
Yeah.
base is very much checked out. Nobody gives
that's
a
what I was
shit.
going to ask you. So
Yeah,
the
no.
panic meter is like it's so high that people are just they've already given up.
Oh yeah, no one cares right now. No one cares. I think people care more about the Flyers and the Sixers right now, which is like very, very rarely happens, minus the process years and shit like that. But they should be thanking the Eagles for being so good because no one's getting very
Yeah.
mad at the 76ers right now. But yeah, the fan base is completely checked out. And for how excited everybody was 2 months ago, it's
That's what it
such
is,
a
dude. That's what makes it the worst, and that's the worst thing as a fan when you're so excited, so hyped about a team, and they're not only do they fail to meet that expectation, but they're just not even they're just a terrible team.
They're not even. Yeah, they're not even a team. They're. I'm telling you, they're the Jets. Like they're the Jets of the NBA. Great offseason, best offseason in years. You finally have the one missing piece, right? What's the one thing that Embiid and Maxi never had between them? Is an athletic wing who can shoot and defend. They get that. They get all the role players, just like the Jets, right? The Jets they got Tyron Smith and they got Hassan Reddick. They made all the offseason moves. They finally get Rodgers back, and they're one of the worst teams in the league. And it's the same with the 76ers. Again, they got the coach, they get the depth, they have everything. Their offseason goes perfect, and they're so bad you can't even watch them. I mean, yeah, thank God for Jared McCain, man, because they're going to need him moving forward for like years to come. Not necessarily for this year, but for years to come. They're going to need him. And the funny thing is that like the general feel around the fan base and just reporters and things like that is that McCain was going to be a trade piece because they were going to get land another semi big name in a trade along with KJ Martin, who they gave a balloon salary to so they can acquire somebody back with a decent salary. So again, the plan was to trade McCain, like to increase the value of the KJ Martin asset, and it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that. Yeah, just super weird, super bad spot, super disappointing, and there's seemingly no end in sight. So yeah, thank God for the Eagles right now, and yeah, the Flyers are doing pretty well. So no one really cares. I think people were extremely angry for the first 2 or 3 weeks of the year. Now people are just like whatever. So I know I am. It's like why am I going to waste my time watching this team that can't beat the Charlotte Hornets?
Yeah, it's been bad. I left out a stat, by the way. Effective field goal shooting percentage against. So the other team against the Sixers rank 26th. So they're not defending well either.
They're not doing anything well.
They're at Charlotte, and then they have Orlando at home twice. They might lose all three. Orlando's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte's on the road. They're at least as good as the Sixers, probably better right now.
Everyone is better than them right now, except for the Wizards. Seriously.
And maybe the Pistons.
I think the Pistons are better than them, for sure. This version of them, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be a little bit different if there was a known time return for Embiid. He was going to return, and he was going to be at full health.
Yeah, and that's
And
the
that's
thing.
just
The games that he's played in, he's except for one game, he played. I think he got like 35 points, but he's been awful. Which isn't necessarily new because he always starts off the year very slow. It takes him a couple weeks to get going, but like I don't know, he already started late. He's missing way more games than he normally does, which is saying a lot for him, someone who normally misses a lot of games.
that's
This is a
that is
bit
saying a
much,
lot.
even by his standards.
That is saying a lot for sure. All right, the next underachieving team. This is switching over to New York, switching over to hockey. The New York Rangers, a
NYR.
perennial championship contender, coming into the season after losing in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, with pretty much the same roster. And we talked about this in the NHL season preview, how for most Ranger fans, and this included myself, was I'm not focused on the regular season because we've seen dominant regular seasons. They won the President's Trophy last year. We've seen them be great in the regular season. We've seen multiple playoff runs. The main focus is coming through in the playoffs. Still enjoying the regular season, setting the tone for what the team's going to be going to the playoffs, but the main focus being on the playoffs. But the panic meter for Rangers fans is very, very high right now. Every Rangers fan friend that I talk to is very upset, deeply concerned, and extremely frustrated. And then you have all the media piling on top with it, with all these rumors about trading Chris Kreider, trading Mika, all these blockbuster trades that are almost definitely unlikely. Very hard to facilitate trades like these unless you're selling, which all these rumors are not selling, they're retooling, which very challenging. Rangers 27 points, 13-9-1, fourth in the Metro, currently in first wildcard spot, except they are losing right now as we are recording this as of Monday, December 2nd. They're down 2-0 to the Devils.
Oof.
So about to fall behind the Flyers actually in the wild card
That's
race.
right. Yeah.
And a completely different feeling. The Flyers are behind the Rangers, yet it feels like the Flyers are. It's all about those expectations coming in. Everybody's loving the Flyers.
Yep.
A couple things.
Some would say the vibe is different.
I wouldn't say that, but some would say that. I do think this is more about the high expectations than the current standing. It is about the playoffs, so I think my initial reaction to all this is I'm not frustrated. I think Rangers fans should relax. We've seen this
Play
team.
the clip, man.
Play the Rodgers clip. I got rid of it.
Smart move.
We can't be playing Aaron Rodgers anything right now.
Yeah, I know.
So I think the point is we've seen for many years now, and this goes to all sports, but especially in NBA, NHL, and MLB, where the seasons are so long, so many games, right? The way a team looks the first 25, 30 games is not indicative of what they're going to look game 80 or playoff time. That being said, there are some serious concerns that I think that I can't deny that I think are something that potentially could be a huge problem. And the reason is because, and it's funny thing is you were talking about this, like about the Eagles really early in the season when you were out on them, how it felt like the same as last year. You were seeing the same things. So the continued decline of Mika Zibanejad as a player, the continued decline of Chris Kreider, specifically 5-on-5, the decline of Lindgren and Trouba and those veteran defensemen. They've just taken a beating over the years. They're not the same. They're slow. They turn the puck over. The defense is looking really bad. That shows an expected goals against per 60 minutes. They're fourth last in the NHL. That being said, on the other side of that, I got to say, expected goals for per 36 minutes, they're fifth. So they're generating high-end scoring chances. Panarin and Lafreniere are creating a large majority of that. But their defense, shots on goal against, they're third last. Shesterkin has been really bad the last couple of weeks. And that's kind of what happened. Early in the first 8 games or so, the Rangers weren't playing well. They were giving up high-quality chances. Igor was incredible, so the Rangers were winning. Igor has a rough stretch, and the Rangers are losing practically every game. Dude, Rangers fans are really, really like panicked. It's crazy. It's really something. It's like you were with the Eagles at 2-2.
Is it like how Yankees fans were in July when they lost 3 of 4 to the Red Sox?
It is more than that.
It can't be more than that. Come on.
Yeah, it is. The thing about Rangers fans is most Rangers fans are like actually real fans.
Yes.
Most Yankee fans aren't, like they're like, oh, how they just feel like embarrassed by losing to the White Sox. Like, they don't really understand. You made fun of this, how like they don't really understand that a baseball team can lose a game. It's not a big deal.
Right. It's almost as if it's a long season.
Yeah, exactly. I am concerned, but I think it's just too early in the season to write off a team that has a core that's been really good for so long now. They're not it's not on the Sixers level. The Sixers are a disaster. We talked about that. The Rangers are nowhere near that. But when the goal and the expectation is to be among the best teams and make a run at the Stanley Cup Finals, and they've about 40 games into the season, you're in a fight for the last wildcard spot. It's concerning. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I think it's fair to be concerned. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be hitting the panic button yet. I'm going to ask you something that you hate when I do it. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your level of panic right now?
10 being the most panicked?
10 being the most panicked, yes.
3.
Do you not know how a scale of 1 to... Okay, good.
Do I not? You could do 1 being the most panicked.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Okay, well, I totally disagree with you.
You disagree that that's not the best way to do it. But you don't disagree that you can do it that way.
I think that would be so dumb. Scale of 1 to 10, because a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a rating. Would you say, hey, rate this from 1 to 5 stars? Would you say, well, is 5 being the highest rated? No,
I wouldn't say that. But if you say the Boston Celtics are in first place in the Eastern Conference, you're going to say, where are they in the standings? They're number 1.
That's not right. Okay. Standings are different than scales. All right.
I'll put this into the rule book.
Yes, put it into the rule book.
No, I would say a 3. I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But dude, can you imagine me more than like a 5?
No, I can't. I thought you were gonna say 5. So, but even that is that's a stretch for you. If it's March and it's still the same thing, then you'd be at a 5.
I feel like I would go from like 3, 4, maybe 5, and then it's like I would just skip like, oh, it's over, like 10,
right?
Or
injury,
1.
Yeah. Well, as long as they stay healthy, man, they'll figure it out. Long season.
Let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. 24-19 over the Ravens, and the 19 was not even relevant.
Garbage time. Yep.
10-2, 8 straight wins, starting with Sistad's removal from the season. He was out on the season. He was out on the team, and he refused to get back in. I think we have to bring that up every time.
Yeah. We should.
Yeah. It was just so ridiculous, and you couldn't be happier that you're wrong.
Couldn't be happier that I'm wrong. Couldn't be happier to be wrong about the defense. I think I went on that rant after the Tampa Bay Bucks game, where they just got absolutely did not even look like an NFL team. I think I remember saying, and that was the game where they were missing, they were missing AJ, they were missing Devontae. And my thing was like, look, you can lose the game, but just look like you belong. Look like you're playing the same sport as Tampa Bay, and they just didn't. Specifically on defense, and listen, it's a tough ask to have your 2 super young corners go up against Evans, Godwin, that receiving core. But since then, they've just been so goddamn dominant. They are just shutting everyone down to the point where I haven't seen an Eagles defense play this well in 20 years. since the 2014. 2 years ago, the defense was very good. They almost broke the sack record, but it wasn't really like this. This is just a different level of execution, of guys rallying to the ball. These guys tackle like I haven't seen an Eagles team tackle like this in I don't remember when. And they're super physical, and it starts. I was thinking about you when I was watching this game last night because everybody,
Oh, yeah.
everybody.
I'm a great football player.
Well, not even not even that, but I know how you love
Not
your
even.
your well, I know how you love your Nova Knicks. Everybody loves the Nova Knicks, right? I'm sure you know the Philadelphia Eagles have their own version of that on their defense.
I don't know.
You didn't know that? Oh, yeah, they have all guys who played defense at Georgia together, basically playing on the Eagles right now. So you got Jalen Carter, obviously, who's just a
Yeah.
total monster, man. I mean, this guy dare I say he's Aaron Donald-esque, man.
He's holding that defensive line together right now.
He also gets fucking held on every dude. There's a lot of clips going around like Twitter X today, and he is getting held 9 times a game, and they never call it on him. And he still manages to get back there, and he opens up so much space for everybody else. He's just an absolute force. And the thing about him coming out of the draft was that he was kind of a punk, like got in trouble a lot, but I think they love it. I think he's super cocky and he chirps at people. He was getting in Lamar's face yesterday, and I think the defense really feeds off that. You also have Jordan Davis, who was one of the Georgia Bulldogs, who was played really well. One of the best games of his career against the run yesterday when they needed it most because they're going up against, second best rushing team in the NFL behind themselves. Nolan Smith is turning into a very, very good edge. Had a very slow start to his career, but he's been playing really well the past few weeks. And then Nakobe Dean, the middle linebacker, who had another awesome game. The two corners are just playing lights out. Quinyon Mitchell
He made that really nice open field tackle on Henry, right?
That was Cooper DeJean. So
that
that
was
was
Cooper.
the
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the nickel corner who that was huge. That's a big fourth. It was a third or fourth down, but it was a really, really key spot in the game. And yeah,
Third.
Well, it was third down. Yeah, 3rd and 8. Yeah, I mean, when do you see a guy, let alone a rookie, just one-on-one stop Derrick Henry like that in the open field?
Really impressive
It's
tackle.
so
Yep.
super, super impressive. And they get after it, man. Zach Bond, this guy is the best Eagles linebacker I think I've ever seen. Like, I'm not, well, that's a little strong, but definitely the best linebacker play we've seen in Philadelphia in the last 20 years. I'm very confident in that. They've had a few good years. 2017, they had a couple good backers, but this guy is unbelievable, man. I was looking up, there was a tweet going around today comparing him and Luke Kuechly, and he's got like better numbers than Luke Kuechly in his Defensive Player of the Year season back in 2015. So
do you recall what kind of numbers they were? Like tackles? What were they?
Tackles, sacks, forced fumbles. He's all over the place. And this is a guy they got for like $1 million. They signed him from the Saints. He was playing edge, but Vic Fangio spotted him and said, "No, we're going to get you to play inside linebacker." And something clicked, and he's like arguably the best linebacker in the NFL right now. So yeah, just really, really cool to see, man. Really encouraging. They bullied a team who is known for being bullies throughout the NFL.
Yeah.
They had never won in Baltimore ever before yesterday. So it's just super impressive, man. And then obviously you've got Saquon, the closer, just coming in and rattling off another 20-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter when they need it most. And just a real professional, adult NFL win. And that was the one thing. So during this winning streak, the one thing that you could point to is say, yeah, they're playing really well, but they haven't beaten anybody yet. And this now, I mean, there's not much else you can say. I thought that was kind of stupid logic because, everybody thought that some of these teams are very good until they played Philadelphia. Like everyone said, oh, the Rams are really good. Now they're healthy. And then the Eagles kicked their ass. And then,
yeah. And the thing about it is,
the next day it was, well, the Rams weren't really that good anyway.
Yeah. That's in this year, the last couple of years in the NFL, there's good teams losing to other teams that aren't as good, at least record-wise, every week.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's teams like the Chiefs that get bailed out every week somehow. They find some craziest, they win in the craziest way. But yeah, no, and the Eagles are doing it. They did it again, like in the second half dominance. They, like you talked about last episode, on the Eagles episode we did, where they just wear down teams. And they wore down a team, like you were saying, that's been wearing down teams all season.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Saquon, like you said, second half running. And this is really just a dominant second half. I mean, they gave the garbage time touchdown. They dominated that second half.
Yeah, first couple drives they gave up the touchdown and the field goal, and they gave up 3 points after that. Again, minus the garbage time. Yeah, so really impressive win. Super happy. I mean, good God, I need the Detroit Lions to lose a game, please. Should have lost on Thanksgiving. They're another team that's, they're obviously great. The Chiefs are great, but another team that's really, really gotten by a couple of pretty lucky wins, I would say. I don't know what that Bears coach was thinking. That was like I don't remember seeing anything that stupid from a coach.
That was ridiculous.
Dude, like, can you think of another example in any sport where
There's
a coach did something
coaches make
so
a lot
stupid?
of bad decisions in a lot of games. Yeah, coaches make questions. It's just I see
No,
it
but
all the time.
this is not a question. This is just like literally like anybody in the world who's ever watched a football game is like, what are you doing?
I mean, he was fired, so
he should have been. They should have made him get his own ride back to Chicago, man. I mean, what was that? So they should have lost. Not that they should have lost that game, but they could have lost that game. I thought the refs really, really hosed the Bears a few times in that game too. But
yeah, you weren't watching it, rooting for anyone.
I was. They do have a couple of tough games coming up though. I think they have the Packers this Thursday, so hopefully the Packers can pull that out. I know they have the Bills coming up in Buffalo. So, and yeah, I think we talked last time. The real. There's 2 games left on the Eagles schedule
Pittsburgh,
Washington that they can lose. I'd probably pick them to win both of those games. I mean, they're going to lose a game at some point along the road. They're not.
Yeah, and they might lose to a team that they should beat. Like that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you have to like their chances. They're at home against the Panthers this week, who have been playing a lot better over the past few weeks, but they should still handle business against them. And then they've got the Giants, they got the Cowboys, and the Giants are just, I mean, not only are they so bad, they just lost Dexter Lawrence for the year. They're an absolute train wreck. So you got to like the way the schedule shakes out.
You're gonna be so pissed if they lose that Giants game.
Well, they might not. It's week 18, so they might not need it.
Oh, that's right. Right.
They might be locked into the 2 seed or whatever,
or locked into the 1 seed.
Maybe.
Probably not locked into the 1 seed, but maybe playing for the 1 seed.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
What if they are playing for the 1 seed? It comes down to, say, the Lions are on the Lions already lost. It's a fourth quarter. Eagles just need to beat the Giants and then they lose.
Oh God, that would be awful. Well, I mean, you'd still, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. If that was like how they missed out on the playoffs or something, yeah, I'd be beside myself. But you're still the 2 seed. Go take care of business in that scenario.
Yeah. So like you said, Carolina up next. They're rolling. Going to go for their 9th straight win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the opposite of last year.
Total opposite of last year. Yeah, the defense is just playing so much better. A lot of it is just, new guys, younger guys starting to really come into their own coaching scheme. Fangio seems to really dialed up very, very well-timed blitzes. He doesn't blitz a lot, but they seem to be very, very well-timed. So it's all is well, man. Hopefully they get their guys back. Now Goddard left the game yesterday, so it's just like every week they're losing a guy or two. But totally. So, but hopefully they get Slay back next week. I think Devontae will be back next week. The reports are that he was very close to playing yesterday, so hopefully he doesn't suffer any setbacks. Obviously, Barkley's been amazing, but if they could just get all their guys, man, then you'll really like your chances going into the playoffs.
Yeah, All right, so we don't have a Let's Mock New York fans on Twitter segment. Sistad says New York fans are too apathetic now.
They are. It's true.
No angry tweets to mock. All their negative tweets you'd just say are on point and fair.
Yeah, I would say that there was I did see something funny on Twitter. It wasn't really like a let's mock in the spirit of let's mock New York sports fans, but it was something like, did you see this? It was wins over the past 50 days for
I
New
did
York
see
teams.
this. Someone sent this to me.
Yeah.
Yankees 5, Mets 4, Giants 0, Jets 3 or 2.
I think it was. I think it was over the past 50 days. Yankee total wins over the past 50 days. Yankees had 5. I think Mets had 2. Jets had 1, and Giants had 0. So it's pretty bad. Yep. That was the one.
So, yeah, that's pretty funny. Got some breaking baseball offseason news for you.
Oh, what do you got?
Ken Rosenthal, source confirms Rangers in agreement with free agent Kyle Higashioka.
Getting higgy with it, huh?
The Mets got Frankie Montas. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
2 years, 34. Kind of a lot of money for a number 5 starter, but whatever. Doesn't impact them. Okay, but because we don't have Let's Mock New York fans on Twitter, we have random trivia for Sistad.
Let's do it.
We're going to do Philadelphia Eagles trivia today. We might in other episodes throw in this random trivia. You can always bring a trivia for me as well.
Okay.
All right, I have a few questions. Some of it's open-ended where we're going to choose the questions on the fly here based on what you choose. It's
okay.
Kind of like what's that game? Where you choose like categories for 200 or whatever. What you know what I'm talking about?
Stop.
No, I don't know.
You know what Jeopardy is called.
I don't know what Jeopardy. I couldn't remember what it's called.
Your boy Aaron Rodgers hosted Jeopardy a couple times, man. Come on.
He's not my boy, and I did not know that, and I will not watch that.
He is your boy, and he was pretty good at it.
Oh, I'm sure. He's very entertaining.
All right, so yes, category.
So, okay, but we're not there yet. I'm going to start off easy.
Okay. Wait, hold on. So is this Jeopardy? Or no, just trivia. Okay.
There's an aspect that's going to be Jeopardy style later on in the trivia. This isn't Jeopardy.
Okay, because in Jeopardy you have to ask in the form of a.
Yeah, I know. You form of the answer, and you answer in the form of a question.
All right, so you do know. Okay, good.
All right, who holds? Remember, I'm starting off easy for you.
Okay.
You're going to know this. If you don't know this, that's pathetic. But I know you know it, so it's not. There's no pressure.
All right.
Who holds the Eagles franchise record for most career rushing yards?
LaShawn McCoy.
All right, there you go. Question 2. Still easy, slightly harder, but I fully expect you to know this.
Okay.
In which year did the Eagles join the NFL as an expansion team?
1933.
Correct. All right. Now.
That was hard. I think most people would not get that.
No, but you would.
Okay, fair enough.
That wasn't.
When you say it's easy, it's like
for you.
Okay, all right.
I'm not gonna ask a random person.
Now you're putting some pressure on me, man. Now you must hold me in high regard with the random trivia. All right.
I'm not gonna ask I wouldn't ask you who led the league in 2017 in pass rush win rate. I wouldn't ask you questions like that. Or what
on the Eagles you're talking about?
Who had the best SRS in the NBA in 2017? Okay.
Well, that would be the Warriors, but anyway.
Definitely would be the Warriors. Okay, so you're going to pick a year.
Okay.
So pick a year between 2003 and 2019.
Okay, I guess let's just go 2017, the greatest year ever.
All right, here we go. What is a good question for the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles? I'll start off with an easy one. How many games did Nick Foles play?
Including the playoffs? How many did he play, or how
Not
many did
including
he?
not including the playoffs, regular
Okay.
season.
How many did he play, or how many did he start?
Good question. How many did he play? You can answer how many he started, but I know you know that.
I think he started in
Regular season only.
regular season only. I'm gonna say he started in. He started 3 games and played in 4.
Oh, he started in 3. He played in 7.
Really? Oh, I guess like blowouts at the end. Yeah.
That was a kind of
Okay.
unfair question. How
Yeah.
would you remember that?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking when he came in when Wentz got injured.
So that would be the 3 plus the 1. Yeah. 4.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Same year, 2017.
I was at one of those games that he started at, by the way.
Oh, really? Which one?
Mm-hmm. The Giants game at MetLife Stadium. It's my only time to MetLife. It was the worst stadium I've ever been to in my life.
It's a pretty bad stadium.
Oh, it's disgusting. It looks it's like a parking garage in East Rutherford. It's just a gray concrete slab. It's got no. It's
all right.
Who
You're
designed this?
stepping over trivia. All right.
Sorry.
I'm not. I didn't ask you what. I didn't ask you about the construction details of MetLife Stadium. That's a future question.
Yeah. I just want to like be in the room with the architect when they were. Well, seriously, when the architect was designing that, like, were they thinking, yes, let's make it look like a parking garage?
It looks horrible. It's a horrible place. The teams that play there are horrible. That makes it worse. Somehow they had a Super Bowl there, though.
Oh my god! Yeah, and they remember it was like super warm that day. Anyway,
was it?
Yeah, it was like 60 degrees that day. All right, next question.
How many passing touchdowns did Carson Wentz throw in 2017? Should I give you multiple choice?
No, I think it's 32.
That's really close. Take a second guess.
33?
Yeah, that's still really good.
That 33rd one, he threw on one leg, tore his ACL the play before. 4th and goal with a torn ACL, found Alshon Jeffrey to take the lead late in Los Angeles.
You remember this very vividly.
I do remember it very vividly.
Okay, next one. Who led the Eagles in rushing touchdowns in 2017?
I'm gonna say LeGarrette Blount.
No.
Really? Jay Ajayi?
No.
No. Man, it wasn't couldn't be Corey Clement, right?
It was Corey Clement.
Really? Huh.
4.
That is a 4?
Yep.
4 led the team in rushing touchdowns.
Yep. They had 9 rushing touchdowns as a team.
Really? Huh. That seems
9 rushing touchdowns, 33. Well, actually, no, more than 33 because they had 33 from Wentz, and then I think it was 5 from Foles here.
Wow, that seems very low. Okay. 9. Jesus.
Yeah, they had 5 passing touchdowns from Foles. Okay. Who led in 2017 the Eagles in receiving touchdowns? Do you want a multiple choice here? I don't think you need it.
No, this one I'm going to say receiving touchdowns. I will say, man, it's between Alshon and Ertz. I'm going to say it's Alshon Jeffrey.
Alshon Jeffrey led the Eagles in receiving touchdowns in 2017 with 9. Zach Ertz was second with 8. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, last question. This is up to you. 2017 Eagles. You can go regular season. You can go playoffs. Pick a category, and I'll pick like rushing, passing, receiving, defense, and I'll pick a specific stat to ask you.
Okay. Yeah, let's go playoffs just because we hadn't touched on that yet. And yeah, let's do something defensive. Defense.
You want to go defense. All right, here. Let's find a good one. Can you name the two Eagles that had an interception in the playoffs? There's two of them. Each had one. Can you name the two Eagles?
Well, one of them is Patrick Robinson.
Patrick
Obviously.
Robinson is correct.
The second one. I don't know that I can. Let me think. I'm gonna say the second one must have been in the Vikings game. Must have been in the NFC Championship game. Right? So they didn't pick off Matt Ryan. Maybe they did.
All right, 5 seconds.
All right, I'm gonna go with Rodney McLeod.
No.
Jalen Mills.
This is a defensive back.
It's not Jalen Mills. It's not Rodney McLeod.
It's not Jalen Mills.
It's not
Jalen
Malcolm
Mills
Jenkins.
did not have an interception in the playoffs. It's no.
Is it?
It is a
Ronald
defensive
Darby?
back. No. You
It's
want a
gonna be
hint?
it's gonna be like a guy, like a dime corner or something. Sure, I'll
It
take a hint.
it is a dude. It is
Yeah.
a person who is a male. You're right.
Okay,
It is a guy. You want a hint?
sure.
He went to high school in New York. He was from Buffalo, New York. He was drafted by the Chicago Bears in the 2007 draft, 5th round. His first name begins with a C. You need another hint.
Charles.
No. I'll give you another hint.
This is bad, dude. I feel awful.
I don't think anyone knows who this guy is. All right. I'm just pulling up his career here because I don't even know. I don't remember this guy at all. You shouldn't feel bad. I don't remember
Okay.
this guy at all.
Maybe it was the Falcons game then.
He was a safety.
It's a safety drafted by the Bears in 2007.
He played 2 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles. Wow, now I actually think that you should know this. He played in 17 and 18. One of 2 players that had an interception in the 17 playoff run. You want me to give it to you?
No. It's not LeBlanc, right? Crevon LeBlanc? No. It's he was
It is
way
a safety.
younger.
His first name is Corey.
Yes, Corey Graham. God damn it.
Corey
Corey
Graham is correct.
In
You didn't get that one right though, but good job for eventually getting it.
So that must have been in the Vikings game, the NFC Championship game.
What I looked up didn't specify. So I was just looking at Pro Football Reference on the playoffs tab, and it just shows interceptions.
He sucked. Corey Graham was not a good Eagle.
Well,
So
not good enough for you to remember.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, I think it was Corey Graham.
well, that's it. That's all we have for random trivia.
All right. Get him next time.
The Eagles are definitely the best. Like you're most knowledgeable, right?
Yes.
Like
Definitely.
if I asked you a 2017 Phillies, you would have like almost no chance.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, they were so bad then. It was like they were the worst team in the league.
Yeah, they were horrible. We can do this. We can add a little
Yeah.
random trivia
Yeah.
going forward.
I love it. Love it.
All right. To wrap up the episode, let's get to subscriber questions. So we have 2. You saw them both, right?
Yes.
Which one do you want to start with?
Let's do the first one.
Bolden NY 1996. So either he loves the Yankees from 96, or maybe he was born 96,
Yeah.
or just chose a
both.
random number,
Yeah.
or just chose a random number,
Nah.
or both. Yeah, or both, I guess. That'd be a
Yeah.
strange thing to associate with a team that you were definitely the same year you were born, but okay. If the Yankees lose Juan Soto to the Mets, How can any Yankees fan trust Hal again?
Oh
I like
boy,
this question.
you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that this is a question that represents the feeling of 80% of Yankees fans.
Yes.
They're going to be so angry.
You know this is a hot button for me though. So anyway, go ahead.
It's a hot button for you because you hate Yankees fans.
It's a hot button for me because I believe that this guy is one of the best GMs in the sport.
No,
And
Hal.
Yankees.
Hal, not Cashman.
Well, okay. Continue.
Now, you want to say if Hal's one of the best owners in the sport, I'd agree with that too.
Yeah. Same premise.
He's one of the most committed owners, committed to winning owners.
Yes.
That at the same time actually acts reasonably and rationally and well thought out, and like he does everything you want. He cares. He puts money and he doesn't overreact and act irrationally. Yet everyone hates on him.
Yes.
Yes. So, what do you think? Can Yankee fans trust Hal Steinbrenner again?
I think so. I think I think that they're one of the best run organizations in all of sports. And what more could you ask for?
Well, you understand that as a Yankee fan, why a Yankee fan would be upset losing Juan Soto to the Mets specifically.
I guess. I don't have this where there's another
team. You may not
understand
the dynamic. Yeah, you may not understand that dynamic.
Yeah, I don't. Not at all. No.
Oh, it's a real dynamic. Most Yankee fans would be like the Mets are like the little brother, right?
Right.
So losing Soto to the little brother like outbidding the Yankees for Soto, the big star. The Yankees get worse, the Mets get better. Yankee fans will be very upset. Like, oh, Cohen's like the new like sheriff in town. This is what people say. Uncle Steve. How's Uncle Steve's nephew?
Oh my gosh, that's great.
And then Yankee fans have this whole thing. John Boy's talking Yanks. They were talking like they built up this whole like fan fiction that Hal's like pissed that people think that the Mets can outspend are like bigger than the Yankees, and then he's gonna be like, I'll show them.
Oh my gosh.
So Yankee fans, I think, are like trying to believe in that, and if Soto goes to the Mets, that idea will be gone.
Yeah, I would say that I would root for that to happen because that would be hilarious. But
It'd be bad for the Phillies.
Exactly. I want zero part of having to play Juan Soto.
You'd want him to go to the Red Sox. That Yankee fans would be very upset about that too.
Yeah, that would be
less
fantastic.
upset than if he went to the Mets. By the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that would be great.
That's like if this was like the old Mets, like the Wilpon owned Mets. No, Yankee fans didn't really care that much about them.
Okay.
The Mets are viewed as a real threat to the Yankees now by Yankee fans.
Wow. Insecure much? My gosh.
Oh yeah, for real.
27 is greater than 2 where I come from, right?
I think that Yankee fans are gonna trust Hal again. They're gonna have to because the Yankees are gonna build a good roster without Soto. And if Soto decides to play for the Mets, it's not necessarily Hal's fault. Now you could say if Cohen outbids the Yankees by like, $60 million or more, you could say Hal should have, done what it takes financially. I mean, Steve Cohen is one of the richest people in the world. He's the richest owner in the sport by far.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he can spend from his own net worth, where Hal has more money. With the Yankees have more money. They're more value. They're a more valuable franchise. They have more revenue. But there's a point where Steve Cohen could just say, "I don't care about the Mets' revenue. I don't care what the Mets are worth. This is the move I want. I want Soto."
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be upset with Hal. I fully believe that Hal's doing what he's going to go to whatever extent he feels that he can within some restrictions. And if they don't get him, they'll still build a good roster. But good question. Yankee fans are going to lose it if Soto leaves. But if he goes to the Mets, goes to the Red Sox, even if he goes to the Phillies,
I think he's staying put. Is my official prediction.
That's your official prediction?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Second subscriber question. This is I don't even need to preface it. It says it right here in the question. At Carl Taron. Question for Sistad. How far do the Eagles have to go for you to be happy with this season?
Excellent question. So if you were to ask me this before the season started, I would have said if they won 10, 11 games and a playoff game, I would have been happy with that. At the end of September, when they were 2-2 and had the debacle in Tampa Bay, I would say I'd be happy with 8 or 9 games and a wild card berth and losing in that wild card round. As the season goes on, expectations change, things line up, the team plays well, other teams around them don't play well. And man, right now, the sky is the limit for them. I would say I would be happy if they made it to the NFC Championship game. I think that would be a really good year. Anytime you make it, you're one of the final 4 teams standing, that's really good. The only thing, I'm never going to be like, they have to win the Super Bowl this year, but I just think, I fear that some of these guys, these skill position guys, are great one year and they fall off the cliff the next year. And injuries start to pile up and things of that nature. Case in point, Christian McCaffrey.
You feel like this is an opportunity.
This
is the team, the way they're playing, the roster that they have. You don't know what the team's going to be like next year. You don't know how guys are going to perform next year. You don't know how their health's going to be next year. That this is a dominant team right now. You don't know how many opportunities you'll have for the dominant roster. So you really want them to take advantage of it.
Yes, specifically with Barkley. Just because, he is getting a lot of touches this year, and he's obviously the best player on offense. And they're really riding him. And again, I fear, Derrick Henry is a freak in his own right. But I kind of feel like Christian McCaffrey going to the 49ers and just his career is kind of a blueprint of Barkley's. McCaffrey was on an awful team for many, many years as the only guy on offense, got the shit kicked out of him, went to San Francisco, totally revamped that entire offense, got a ton of touches, got really far, didn't win the Super Bowl, and now he's seemingly falling apart physically. So
for the year.
And when he was in, he looked like shit. So I just kind of worry that the same thing happens with Barkley. So part of me is like, man, you gotta win. You gotta win it this year because who knows how long this window is going to be. But yeah, I think if you ask me today, I think if you make it to the championship game, that is a really good year. Right now, injuries and all that stuff aside, I would actually pick them to beat Detroit right now, whether it was in Philadelphia or Detroit. So that would be disappointing if they lost. But, who the hell knows, man? They could get clipped round 1 from the 7th seed. I think with this roster, you're going to have home field advantage until you get to the championship game, most likely. So, you got to get to the championship game.
I think that's a good answer. I'm good with that. All right. Well, that's it.
That's it.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Give us a like, subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Philly pride insists that's all. Andrew Rappin and Wild Bulls. Together they talk sports and dreams. Right behind the scenes. It seems Philly versus NY. Who we call? Who's the greatest? Who will fall with this rivalry? Loud and clear. Join the chat. It's time to cheer. Sports and culture all in one. Catch the fire, feel the fun. Andrew says that Brad unite. Philly NY and